Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is. Good that thing to you. So, a quick video today, just going over the organization of the levels of living things. So, this unit is called molecules to organisms. We're looking at the different components and different structures that make up living things in general. And so, this is just a quick rundown of those levels, a very quick explanation of what they are. And so the first level, the simplest level, are the elements that make up living things. Right? And so all living things on this planet are made up of the same six elements. They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. Right? That order, CHONPS, is an arrangement of abundance in living things. So the primary element that you find in living things is carbon. The second most concentrated element is hydrogen. Then you have a whole lot of oxygen as well. After we hit nitrogen, we start declining. Right? There's less of that in living things, but there's still a lot of nitrogen. There's a very fair amount of phosphorus as well. Sulfur is the least abundant of them all. Okay? Sulfur only really shows up in proteins. Okay? Which brings us to the next level of organization, which is the molecules. Right? These are the biological macromolecules. These are the bigger things that make up living stuff, right? So we're built out of these molecules. We have proteins, right, which I describe as the acting agent of gene expression. And when we explore proteins a little bit more in depth, should make more sense. Then we have nucleic acids, which are DNA, RNA, and ATP and GTP. Their primary role is the storage and conveyance of genetic information. Then we have carbohydrates, which are things like sugars, starches, right? Cellulose and chitin are also carbohydrates. Those are molecules that serve structural functions in bugs and plants, irrespectively. The primary function of carbohydrates, as a general concept, is short-term energy storage, but they do play structural roles as well. And then lipids, things like fats, oils, waxes, steroids. The primary function of lipids is long-term energy storage, but they too play a structural role in many components of our bodies. And steroids play an important role in cellular communication, right? Hormones, effectively. Moving down, if I can ever make this technology work. Let's see what this. Click the button, it works better. We put together a bunch of the macromolecules in very specific arrangements, and we get ourselves the basic unit of life, the cell. Here I've represented that as a triangle. Okay, so this triangle cell has certain properties that allow it to do triangle things. Right? And so if this is a liver cell, it is composed of the macromolecules in a certain way that allows it to do liver things, right? Which is like detoxification of stuff, right? Making bile to put in our stomach. The liver things, right? These cells have properties that allow the liver to do the liver thing because of its own properties. If you put together enough cells of the same type, you get yourself a tissue, right? And so if those cells were liver cells, I now have a liver tissue, which also has certain properties of the liver overall. Okay? We put together tissues of similar nature, right? And we get ourselves an organ. Right? And so the liver is an example of an organ. Organs are individual parts of our body that have specific functions. If you put together related organs, you get yourself an organ system. Right? For instance, the circulatory system, right, and the respiratory system, so like our heart and our veins and our arteries, work together with our lungs, right, to get oxygen into our cells and to get carbon dioxide out of our body. Right? So that's an organ system, the circulatory respiratory system working together. You put together all of your organ systems and you get your whole body, your whole organism, the whole thing, right? It's one organism. And that's it. That's the entire list. Right? So it goes elements, molecules, cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organisms. That's it. Bye.